Whenever we get into a new relationship, we are taking a risk. We don't know everyone, yet most of us would like to believe that all people are good. No one gets involved or stays with an abusive partner intentionally. Some narcissists can and do use physical violence, but often by the time you're at that point in that relationship, you are that full of fear and anxiety and cognitive dissonance that you become unwittingly trapped and it's difficult to leave them. Yet a lot of narcissistic people don't use physical violence, and mental abuse is harder to see. I'm Elizabeth Shaw. Welcome to the channel, which is all about the narcissistic personality disorder, to give you more understanding of what you've been through, how you can handle these kinds of people if you cannot go no contact, and most importantly, ways to recover from narcissistic abuse. This video is about the signs that you are being emotionally abused, more about signs within yourself. So, are you blaming yourself for their actions towards you? Do you keep hoping they'll change? Have you become isolated from friends and family? Are you getting bad anxiety? Do you feel depressed? No longer knowing who you are? Are you walking on eggshells and not feeling comfortable around your partner or comfortable around other people? Fearing what mood they'll wake up in, fearing the key in the door, or if you don't manage to answer the phone to them straight away or message them back straight away, fearing their reactions. Are you no longer going out with friends? And if most of the answers are yes to those, it's highly likely you are with an abusive person. Even if they are not narcissistic, they are extremely harmful and toxic. If you fear speaking up for yourself and you feel your boundaries are slipping and you are full of self-doubt, you need to find a safe way out, which isn't always easy. I'll add a video at the end to explain more about finding a way out. An abusive relationship can have devastating effects not only on your mental health but also on your physical health. These relationships can not only happen in romantic relationships, but it can also happen with friends, family, and people within your work setting. Emotional abuse is a hideous experience and it's difficult to see what's happening to you as it happens so gradually over time. As the abuser can treat you so well at times and they have ways of explaining everything away, making you doubt yourself or making you blame yourself, then as they fill all our human needs for certainty, uncertainty, contribution, growth, love and connection, significance in a negative way, as we are left so uncertain at times, yet certain we're in a relationship. We forever grow and change even though it's hurting us. Sometimes we can feel the love from them and like we are contributing to them by picking up the pieces after them constantly, and we become addicted to the abuse on a subconscious level. In the beginning, they lure you in, make you feel comfortable and slowly take control over you. Good, kind-hearted people make excuses for their partner's behaviour, often blaming themselves, so continually sacrificing themselves and giving up the things that they enjoy in attempts to make the relationship work. If you're feeling any of these, crazy, confused, stupid, depressed, broken, beaten, always to blame, fear of reactions, cannot get your own inner feelings out, feeling worthless, unlovable, thinking it's all so unbelievable, there is also a high chance you are around an abusive person. So 12 signs you are in a mentally abusive relationship. Number 1, you're always feeling on edge and fearful. You're afraid to speak out or speak up at times. You are worried or scared of their reactions if you do. Number 2, they are extremely petty. They make a massive deal over minor things. What you did right once is suddenly no longer right. Even simple things like you have not cooked their vegetables how they like them can turn into a massive argument. Number 3, you've lost your self-esteem. They criticise you over things about from your friendship choices to your family members, how you clean, how you parent, how you work, how much money you earn, how you cook. They tell you you're not good enough, how you dress, your figure, all to make them feel better about themselves and slowly destroying your self-esteem. 4, you've lost your self-respect, as they take down boundaries one by one, gaslighting you, saying things like, my friend's partner would, or my ex would, to you're regimented and need to loosen up. Gaslighting you to lose your boundaries, giving you the silent treatment if you don't conform to their demands. 5, they block you and cut you off. Any topic you try to raise, any debate, any discussion, any form of compromise, they will either change it into something completely different, bring up something you did, rage at you, or silent treatment you, making you lose what the discussion was indeed about in the first place. 6, they distract you. Again, changing the subject or saying you're too sensitive, you're insecure, you're overreacting, gaslighting you again with and other things like that never happened, I told you last week, you're losing your memory, so that you doubt your mind, you doubt your instincts and you doubt your version of reality. Usually then going to the abuser for the reality checks. 7, you end up walking on eggshells around them, always being careful what you say and do, where you go, for fear of how they'll react. 8, you feel humiliated. They often poke fun at you, especially in front of other people, in subtle ways. They do it in the form of, I'm only joking. Slowly losing your confidence. They also do it by making comments about how you look. Covert narcissists are more, they will plant the seed with, you're not going to wear that, are you? Overt narcissists will be more of the, that looks terrible on you. Overts are more direct, coverts are more subtle. 9, they use all your weaknesses against you, provoking you constantly in order to get reactions from you. And then when you defend yourself, they will blame it all on you. They will downplay their behaviour and exaggerate all your behaviour, leaving you with more self-doubt and feeling more guilt for how you reacted, often blaming yourself. They have a way of emphasising all your emotions within yourself so that you're no longer sure how to think or how to feel, doubting everything about your own motives, doubting everything about life, doubting everything about other people. They just instill so much self-doubt in you. 10, if you're hurt or upset, they often show no compassion, often walking out and leaving you upset, or they'll go on about a situation that they had that was far worse than yours. Often they can be the ones that cause the upset, and they will just sit there and watch you cry with a little twinkle in their eye and that smirk on their face, and they'll show no remorse, they'll show no empathy. They almost seem to get pleasure out of seeing someone in that much pain. They don't genuinely care for your feelings. They have no real empathy towards you unless they have something to gain by pretending to do so. 11, they treat you better than anyone ever has at times to keep you more confused and working harder to please them. This is what makes it so confusing, the fact that they're not bad all the time. If you've got someone that tells you they hate you and treats you like dirt, you know that they hate you and they treat you like dirt. When you've got someone that tells you that they love you and for most of the time, they don't even do nice things for you, seemingly come across as doing nice things for you, and then covertly treats you like dirt. It's a very, very confusing place to be. The fact that they're not bad all the time, the fact that they switch the game from being nice to nasty like a light switch, they keep people in a trance while they slowly drain everything away from you. 12, you no longer know who you are. You don't feel like yourself anymore, and you feel like you're slowly losing more and more of who you indeed were. If you had narcissistic parents, you might have not truly known who you were in the first place. You've lost all the things that you used to enjoy so much, your values, your trust and your belief. You're always living on edge, and it's starting to become not only when you are around your abuser, but when you are around others also. You've lost your self-trust in your own judgment, and you're feeling judged by others and no longer trusting those around you. If you're still in an abusive relationship, then seek help from domestic violence helplines. Ask friends or family for assistance if you've not been isolated from them. Those that tried to warn you that you might have been isolated on, those were the ones that you could do with reaching out to first, because they cared enough to try and help, even though they ended up isolating themselves from you. Stay safe. Do not tell your abuser what you think, or that you believe that they are a narcissist and that you can change them by telling them that they are a narcissist. It doesn't happen. They will just cause an argument. They are not to blame for things. They will twist it all on you. You will feel worse. Don't tell them that you're thinking of leaving. Try gathering money, keeping a diary of events where the abuser cannot find it. Gather passports and birth certificates, and try and get to a safe place. You are far from alone. Unfortunately, a lot of people have been through exactly what you're going through or have been through. And people understand how you feel and what's happening to you. That loss of self, that self-doubt in all your actions, that feeling like you're going crazy, feeling like you're stupid for putting up with situations you should have never put up with. That's the gaslighting. You don't see it happening until you're in that deep that you have to dig your way back out. So you are far from stupid. That gaslighting takes a hold over you like nothing else, and you're far from alone in it. You can break free and you will move on to a much happier life. Letting go can be extremely hard and extremely painful. However, it is possible. You've just got to find the best method that works for you to achieve it for yourself. You can listen to endless of videos, and there's some amazing videos out there with some brilliant advice out there that does work for people. But if it doesn't work for you, there's nothing wrong with that person's advice. It's just not for you. Just find the advice that works for you. Learning to let go of all the blame. Don't pass all the blame over. This is tricky because at the beginning, you don't want to be taking all the responsibility, which you most likely will be doing. But you do need to take responsibility for your own actions so that you can learn from them. But never for theirs. You've got to slowly start passing responsibility back to the rightful owner. No one deserves to be abused. Blaming those who have hurt us for everything that is wrong within our own lives will not only hold us back. So when we're saying things like, if it wasn't for them doing that to me, it keeps us trapped in our own negative mindset and our past. So we do need to shift out of that mindset. Blaming others for everything is only self-sabotaging our own inner peace of mind and our own inner happiness, and is exactly what narcissistic people do. Yet blaming ourselves for everything also keeps us trapped in the past and also loses who we are. So it's finding that balance of accepting the blame for no one deserves to be abused, but for our own thoughts and our own feelings, but passing back the blame for their actions to them. The past is in the past. If you want to become free, you need to stop locking yourself in the past. Once you heal from the past, whatever that narcissist is trying to do to you, it will no longer affect you. Once you can understand how and why they do what they do, learn to observe their behaviour and not absorb. So learn what games they're doing, recognise the games. Keep your standards high for yourself, lower your expectations of those who are incapable of loving and caring for others. Learn, practice and do grey rock or no contact, and your life will become so much easier. With things like judgment, I am all for not judging other people, but at the same time, you have got to call a spade a spade. If someone is abusive, they are abusive, and you are allowed to judge that they are an abusive, toxic person that you no longer want to associate yourself with. Now, when it comes to narcissistic people, they want to win at all cost. They are about winning. And it's not a game of win or lose, but if you want to win the game, just no longer play. Let it go, move on and create a happier life, more positive, more successful life for you. If you really want to move on, stop holding on to that past and learning to let go, because the past truly holds you back. Narcissistic people are thieves. So now in the present moment and every present moment after this, you need to stop allowing others to steal your joy. Stop letting them live rent-free in your mind. And yes, this takes practice, and most people have them stuck running through their mind when they first leave a relationship. And you can move them out. Start by using pattern interrupt. I shall link the video in the description. Every time they pop into your mind, you have to consciously remove the thought and replace it with something positive, something about your future. It does take time and practice, but it's one method that will help you shift them from your mindset and start focusing on what you want to focus on. No longer allow them to steal your joy and live in your headspace. When they pull something into the present moment, don't give them what they want. Instead, stay calm. Do not react. Yes, it's hard at first. It's human nature to want to defend ourselves. But we do not need to defend ourselves to these kinds of people, because they're not listening anyway. The more we practice, the easier it becomes. Don't let their actions spoil the rest of our day, because we don't spoil their day. They do what they do and then leave us to suffer. So it's finding the balance to shift it out, which I know at the beginning it's a very difficult place to be. All you can do is practice, keep going up, getting up the next day, doing it again and again and again until it gets easier and until you get it. Sometimes people do hold on to the past and the pain and the blame, as they believe it's easier than moving on. You have to face the pain of letting go so that you can move on to a much happier future. The more you allow them to infect your mind, the more of your life that they take away from you. They are like a virus that swoop in and treat you better than anyone ever has and slowly destroys you. It takes time and work from you to recover from the trauma bond. Just like when you get ill, you have to take the steps to get better. When you break a bone, it has to heal. Depending on the severity of the narcissist and how long you were with them, how much it's affected your mental health, how much it's affected your physical health, how much they've taken from you, and how much they're trying to affect you now. It differs on how long it takes individuals to recover, just like a broken bone. It depends on the break as to how long it takes to recover. We are all more than capable of recovery if you put your mind to it. Others have done it before you. With more awareness, it'll become easier and hopefully stop people getting involved with these energy draining vampires in the first place. The best and only revenge is letting go and moving on. Showing yourself that you're strong enough to let go, that your ego is happy to let go, that you're not even interested in them or even bother seeking revenge. The best revenge is massive success for your own life. Living in a calm, peace and joyful manner. Let them take their toxic, infectious negativity elsewhere. Give yourself a positive mindset. Focus on the good. Write down the good things that you have in your life and focus on adding to that list. Finding your sense of humour. Writing down good things that you want in life and keep adding. People don't just get lucky in life, and they work hard to make their own dreams a reality. When they hit an obstacle, when it gets tough, they find a way and a positive way to move past it. So losing negative thoughts and finding things that cheer you up, that change your state of mind, that pick you up. Your past is over, and it's a difficult thing to say to people who are just coming out of it or who are still living it, because I can remember being in that space. But when your past is over, you do have to close that book. Don't cheat yourself out of a positive future by living in your past. Your past no longer exists. The here and now is what's a present moment. The past is now just memories. When you keep hold of things like resentment, you suffer. You need to become happy within yourself, and then things will become perfect. Not perfect. Nothing in life is 100% perfect, but you'll be able to laugh at toxic people's negativity. You'll no longer allow it to consume you. With inner happiness and wisdom on toxic people, your newfound boundaries in saying no to things that you don't find acceptable, you'll have made a shield around you to deflect toxic people away from you. Life isn't always perfect. Life is hard. Life gets tough. But if you can get into that mindset where you can pick yourself up, it becomes easier to deal with hard times. You will go through hard times rather than letting hard times go through you. Seeing the good in everything is a good way to live, yet seeing the good in bad people is a toxic way to live. So back to judgment. Again, I know I've said this earlier on in the video, but I'm all for not judging people, but when it comes to seeing toxic in people, you need to see that and recognise the good in the good, recognise the bad in the bad. Forgiveness is for you. Forgiveness is for how you want to live your life. Forgiveness is to make you happy. Forgiveness isn't for them. Forgiveness is not. And forgiveness is also for when you are ready to forgive. Don't let someone else tell you to forgive someone if you don't want to forgive someone. It's your life to live. If you can move on and create a happy future without forgiving someone, then you do that. But if you're struggling and you need to find that forgiveness, remember, forgiveness is for you for putting up with stuff that you should never have put up with. It's not for them. It doesn't alter what they've done. It doesn't make their abuse any less. It doesn't take away what a spiteful, hurtful person they are. So working on things like forgiveness is for you. And I do find that once you start focusing on a new life, once you start looking at a future for yourself, once you start looking at creating those new dreams, once you start looking at where you want life to take you, once you start writing those things down, because writing it down actually programs your subconscious. So writing good things down programs that subconscious. Once you start working on losing those self-doubts, recognising the things that you are good at, recognising the things that you are capable of, and building upon those things, then you shift out of the past naturally, but you do have to work on that future. If anyone has any advice, because I seem to have gone on for a while on this video, so if anyone has any advice, please add it into the comments. If anyone would like any information on anything else, please also add that into the comments and I will make a video of it. Today, write down 3 things that you would like to achieve today. 3 small things, 3 5-minute tasks, 3 things that you can do, that you can recognise you can do, that can cheer you up. And do at least one thing that makes you laugh, that lifts your spirits, that picks you up into that happy state of mind. I shall add the video on pattern interrupt into the description. I shall add the links to the courses into the description. Thank you very much for listening. Bye.